Hey guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip, and you would not be Toddy One Skip because I am Toddy One Skip. In other words, if I'm Toddy One Skip, you couldn't be Toddy One Skip because there's just one Toddy One Skip, and that would be me. Guys, you check out my burger. I made a burger. It was a really good burger. Smash burger! Yeah. I would love to cook and tell you stories, you know what I'm saying? Because I love to cook, but not here, not now. Anyway, guys, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about a bunch of stuff that's going on. So, what's going on, you say? Toddy, what's going on? I don't know. Rose Red put out a video that talked about Ken and the CPS. And I got to tell you, I have thought about Ken and the CPS and what he said about CPS. And do you know that absolutely Louisiana CPS is not called CPS? It's Department of Children and Family Services. That would be DSFS, Department of Children and Family Services. And if Ken dealt with them, why didn't he know their name? And it makes no sense what Ken was saying because he said he dealt with them a few months ago. That would be before the car seat incident, before the speeding incident. They'll be back because the car seat, we see you don't know where to put a baby in a car seat. You don't know how to do it. That's after that because it just didn't make any sense. I would agree. I'm not going to go as far as to Rose Red said that there's no baby there, because I'm not 100% sure of that. But I will say that the CPS story makes absolutely nada sense, especially when a few months ago, where was the baby living most of the time? It seemed to be with Gypsy and Christy and Rod over at that house, not at Metairie, because the baby, supposedly, Gypsy was on parole. She wasn't allowed to spend more than a couple nights with you. What's going on here? So the majority would be over there, yes? Does that make any sense? That makes sense, right? And then I thought there was a discrepancy at one point where he said a couple weeks and then it turned into a couple months and then he was a she as far as the social worker. I could be wrong about that because I've heard the story off of a few content creators that have, copied the story and, it's Ken's thing, but, people have obviously downloaded it and put it up. I myself have done that. So, I've heard it a few times. But I did think that there was a discrepancy about the dates and how long ago it was and the gender. But again, I could be wrong. Here's the thing. It doesn't make any sense. They will be back. There's no notoriety. There's infamy that you guys have, Ken. And, when you unalived anybody, I think that it kind of just goes without saying that if somebody committed an MURDER and they are known as an MURDERER, that chances are, Department of Children and Family Services would be up your ass checking on the welfare of this child because, the grandma of the child isn't here anymore. So that makes sense. It's another thing that was brought up, and I checked it out on Cajun Navy Gen. Where's the money for the billboards? What happened there? What happened there? Seriously. Now, you guys, a few of you have gone back and forth and said you didn't do this and you didn't do that back in the day with the clemency letters, and there was like a peaceful rally or something. I didn't want to get involved in things. I saw some red flags. I didn't want to get involved. Now you see what it was. I don't want to get involved with people that I don't think have follow through, and I'm worried about their integrity. And Fancy was involved in this. Where's the money for the billboards? I didn't put any money up for the billboards, but if you guys did, you should go get your money back because there's something going on here. This woman is gaslighting. People have asked her. I don't know what she said about Ivory Rose Nose and any kind of essay that I'm not familiar with, but that kept showing up in the comments. What also kept showing up in the comments was that Cajun Navy Gen wasn't addressing things. Guys, the billboards I know were supposed to be $1,000 each. That I heard. And I also heard that any leftover money was going to go to, I want to say, something for Nick. But there's $6,000 that wasn't used. Where is that money? How come, can people get their money back? Are you going to give people their money back? This is the problem with the people in the Gypsy verse. It makes you wonder, is Gypsy involved in this? Did she take some money? Fancy probably got a little bit of money. Let's see. Was NPG involved in this? Weren't they a fan? They were fans of Fancy. They said nice things about Fancy, right? Look at this shit. Well done, huh? Well done. This is unbelievable. And I'm serious. If you guys donated money and you don't get your money back, get your money back. You guys should do a class action lawsuit. Find out who the hell this person is that's taking money, and why would you give money like that? Guys, please be careful where you give money. I hope it wasn't any of us, guys. I hope it wasn't any of us, guys. You know that I show receipts. I have. You can look in my posts. Look in my community posts in March or April and see if this channel didn't give up a lot of money. And see a year ago in August if this channel didn't give $1,700 for the Corey Michelow and Justice for Corey. This channel has given over $5,000. I can show the receipts with that. It's easy. That's all it's easy. It's transparency. If somebody can't do that, there's something wrong. You know, but I got to tell you something, guys. You should have seen by these two people's name, Fancy, Cajun Navy Jen. I'm not part of Reddit. I'm not part of any of that, but I've heard things about these people. Guys, please. Yes, the billboard was well worth it. But that one billboard wasn't worth $7,000, and that's how much money was raised. No more billboard. Guys, watch this stuff. I seriously want you to... I went ahead, and I want you to check this out real quick. Just hear it. Just watch it.
And then they, of course, tested us. And not only were UAs given, but hair was given, okay? And just recently, as of a few months ago, our case was closed because nothing comes back, you know, and they realized that as much as you guys don't want it to be true, as much as a lot of our haters and snarks there don't want it to be true, Aurora is in a very safe environment and in a very well taken care of household.
Let me be clear here, Ken. As somebody that you're calling, I guess, a hater and somebody that doesn't want it to be true, I can honestly say that I don't know anybody that wants your daughter, if she's there, to be in any kind of harm's way at all. I'm serious. Nobody wants your kid to be in nobody wants any children to be in any kind of harm's way that is on, as far as my subscribers go. I'm going to stick up for my subscribers. Nobody wants to see your kid hurt, okay?
So for them to use the term CPS, I don't know if they're just grabbing it from people saying it through, you know, through the internet, whatever. But you think if they had contact with this organization, that they would use the right term for it.
Not only do I agree with Rose Red there, but also if they got a letter, I could see Gypsy posting it. She would be getting her own billboard and posting that letter. She would. She honestly would be getting that billboard proving us all wrong. She got a letter from DC or whatever the fuck they're called in Louisiana. My kid is safe. See. She would have had that. If she would have had that. If she would have had that letter, she would have had that. She would have been doing that. You know she would have been doing that. She would have been doing that. So, you know, sorry, I call bullshit.
It's just food for thought, because a lot of what he said in that live didn't make sense about their case being closed and all that, and how they lied for so long saying CPS didn't come. They didn't need CPS. There was no CPS. They're not involved. I got in trouble from Christy for posting something saying CPS was called to their house. Hair growth never changes. That's important. My granddaughter wasn't born with a whole lot of hair, and she's blonde. But by the time she was 8 months old, she needed a haircut, right? Watch this.
I just wanted to take a minute and touch base with everybody. Yes, everything's crazy right now, but what I can assure you of is that everybody is working to make sure that these billboards go up. I want you guys to understand that we are going to make this happen. It's not going to be stopped. I understand there's a lot of feelings going on. Please just be patient. know that everybody's communicating, everybody is working in the same direction, and that is to get these billboards in the air.
So that was her explaining what was going on behind the scenes. What's happening with the donations, what's happening with production of stuff and all that, right? Because apparently people were calling her out saying, what's going on? She collected $7,000 in donations for these billboards, and one has been delivered. And they're $1,000 each. That's $6,000 unaccounted for.
Guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. This stuff is really unbelievable. It's despicable. And of course, it's all around Gypsy, because it's kind of like weeds. And not the kind you smoke. The bad weeds that kill good, healthy plants. That's what I'm talking about. Gypsy Rose Blanchard and her parasites. Guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. Be better today than you were yesterday, not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Take care, guys.